Hey guys, it's Mitch with SC Weather. Hope y'all have had a great Easter. The day started out beautiful. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start to the day. I'm sure a lot of people were thinking, man, there's no way it's gonna rain today. There's no way you're gonna ruin this day. Well, surely it has, and it's been raining pretty heavy this afternoon. It looks like it's just starting to kind of clear up. Not clear as in clear skies, but it's gonna start tapering off in the Midlands and pretty much everywhere. Places in the coast near Myrtle Beach, you'll have a round of rain coming for sure, but for the most part, that first round we've been talking about the last few days, that is going to begin to kind of push out the area, and we're just going to be dealing with kind of cloudy, kind of windy conditions probably throughout the rest of the evening and the night until tomorrow morning. But some people picked up over an inch of rain, I'm sure, today. The reason I look wet is because I've actually been on my roof trying to fix my weather station. The tipping gauge on it is not working. It does have some age to it, and I do have a replacement, but it's just tearing my nerves up that it's not working. So I've been on my roof in the rain. Don't worry guys, my roof is a very easy to access roof, but yeah, it's not really working that well. Anyways, so let's get into the severe weather threat. This will be the last video. No real point in updating anymore. Just follow me along on my Twitter, my Facebook, and I'll definitely keep up updated. But right now, obviously, there's a tornado threat going out to our west in Mississippi and Alabama. So heart goes out to them. Let's pray for them. Make sure nobody gets killed. We can replace houses. We can replace buildings, stuff like that. But we can't, replace people's lives. So let's definitely say some prayers for them people. So once this round clears out, what's going to happen is the cold front's going to come. Now, a squall line is going to be associated with a cold front. So squall line, what that is if y'all don't know, it's just a line of severe thunderstorms, and it usually moves fast, and it normally has a very strong winds with it. Whether it lasts 5 minutes or 20-25 minutes, but normally it's very quick. I think, and I haven't mentioned this on social media, and I think a good thing to compare this to is that storm that went through on Halloween, especially here on the Midlands. And how I compared that to it was, first thing, this is gonna be quick. It's gonna move through, I don't think it's gonna move through as quick as Halloween, but it's gonna move through quickly, and that's that. The second thing is they're gonna be embedded tornadoes, embedded spin-ups, just like the one that went through the one that went through Lexington on Halloween. So, when you have spin-ups and basically a line of thunderstorms, a squall line, it's not like a supercell. It's not like a thunderstorm. And basically, your line's moving probably 30 to 50 miles per hour, and a tornado will drop down inside the severe line of thunderstorms, and it'll be quick. Whether it touches down for a mile, half a mile, it's just rolling with the squall line. So it's just not taking its time and kind of spinning and barely moving, kind of like the tornadoes you see out in the Midwest. These are quick spin-ups that they'll kind of drop down real quick, do damage, and probably rope back up, or sometimes they just stay on the ground for a while. I don't think this is, now, some of you weather guys are gonna disagree with me, and I might be wrong, but I don't think the tornado threat is, in my opinion, I don't think it's gonna be, any tornado threat's bad, guys. I just don't think it's gonna be as high as maybe some people think in the Eastern Carolinas, but I could be totally wrong. Soundings obviously say otherwise, but it's definitely something we need to take serious, especially if this line of severe thunderstorms moves slower than anticipated. And that puts people like the Myrtle Beach area, especially Eastern North Carolina, in a much more dangerous situation, because if the line's moving slower, then it's gonna move through places like that, maybe noon to maybe early afternoon. So it allows more heating of the day. It basically just puts fuel to the fire. And it'll allow more of a tornado threat to develop for those areas. So that's when the alarms go off for tornadoes. Now, there's already gonna be a tornado threat, guys, but the main threat is gonna be very, very strong winds. And guys, y'all are gonna see this line coming. You're gonna see it coming in the sky, and if you follow weather guys on Twitter and Facebook, they're going to let you know. Definitely know how to look at a radar, guys. I mean, somebody can tell you all day there's some storms about to hit, but if you know how to read a radar, you can physically see it on radar coming. Know your counties, know where you're located. To me, that's common sense, but I understand it's not common sense to everybody else. But so just know where you are, know how to read a radar. The reds are the bad stuff, right? Now, I don't expect you to be able to read velocities and strong winds, and how can you look at that? But you obviously know if you see a line of orange and red coming at you, maybe pink, that's probably going to be pretty bad, right? So if you're in front of that, you know it's probably about to hit you 9 times out of 10. So anyways, I don't want to ramble into that too much because that's just, if you're passionate about weather, you know stuff like that. If you aren't, then you don't. So anyways, so this line of storms is probably going to move through. Let's go on and start looking at some models here. This is the HRRR model. So it's going to move into the upstate probably before sunrise, I'm thinking. Probably wee hours of the morning. Wee hours morning to me is 2 to 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. It's going to move through, probably not pack, I wouldn't say that. It's going to pack a punch. It's going to get in the Midlands probably either right when the sun's coming up, but between 6 to 9 a.m. I'm going to go with what the National Weather Service here in Columbia is still saying. Midlands, as in Columbia, Lexington, anywhere that's associated in the Midlands, that's your time frame. I mean, look at that. It's showing the line. It's the same thing we've seen the last few videos we've done. It's a potent line of storms, guys, and it's just going to be strong winds, even where the worst isn't. You're going to deal with winds. It's going to move and then go all the way into the coast, and it'll hit the coast probably more around late morning to maybe noon, and then after that, it's it. That's it. It's done. In fact, once this line moves through, let's hope there's not a lot of damage. If there is, it's probably going to be wind damage. Just like Halloween, it's going to move through. If you remember on Halloween, guys, around this area, and I'm speaking around this area because that line of storms on Halloween moved through right when everybody been home about an hour or two, and everybody was so antsy to go trick-or-treating. I kept telling people, don't go trick-or-treating. This line of storms is going to move through, and it's going to be it. 20, 30 minutes tops. People start trick-or-treating. Nobody knows how to look at a radar, apparently. Line of storms move through. Everybody in the neighborhood starts running back to the house. Luckily, people were smart enough to say, hey, okay, this is over. It's looking fine now. Let's go back out and have fun. Don't think that just because they're calling for severe thunderstorms tomorrow morning, it's going to be a bad day the whole day. Because let me tell you, it's going to end up being a beautiful day. Once that line of storms move through, we'll end up seeing clear skies by the end of the day. And it's going to warm up into the 70s to maybe 80 degrees. Probably the low 80s. And it's going to end up being a beautiful day. So if you work outside, if you're an essential worker who works outside, don't just cancel your whole work just because severe thunderstorms in the morning. No, it's going to clear out, so maybe just start a little later. But I don't want to upset anybody who's quarantined. Some people just think you should stay home, forever, until this is over. But obviously, if you have to go work, you have to go work. So, I think it clears the coast by early afternoon. So main threat, strong winds and quick spin ups. Spin ups as in quick tornadoes that drop down, do a lot of damage and then lift back up. And honestly, our last few tornado threats throughout since the beginning of the year, we had that threat in February. We've had a couple other threats. Most of them have been because of embedded tornadoes and squall lines or severe thunderstorm lines. So that seems to be the trend lately. But after that, we warm up, ends up being a beautiful day, and so we get a couple, it cools down because this line of storms is associated with a cold front, so got a little cold air behind it. It's not going to get as cold as beginning of the weekend where it got down to the 30s and stuff Saturday morning, but it'll be a couple chilly days this coming week, but we won't talk about that right now. But drier air will move through in the evening. It won't feel as humid as it feels outside, and then that'll be it. So let's get through this. Let's not overhype, but let's be weather aware. And I don't think it's nothing to have anxiety about. Let's just know how to look at a radar. Know how to, do them things. Do that kind of things. Don't just say, no, well, you know, I rely on you to tell me this. Well, don't do that. You know, it's good to expand your knowledge on different things. If you got a radar app, whether it's just your local news app, whether it's the Weather Channel app, whether it's Radar Scope, which is what I use, which is an awesome app, guys. It costs like $5 a year, $10 a year. I just know how to look at that. So that's about it. Like I said, I hope y'all have had a blessed Easter, a great day, and I appreciate the growth I've had. The weather's been very boring up till this week. I mentioned a week ago that the weather was about to get kind of crazy, and it kind of has. And so I appreciate the growth. I appreciate everybody who subscribed. I ask that y'all do subscribe if y'all watch. It just helps me grow and use my passion to help others. So y'all have a great rest of the evening, and let's stay safe.